Welcome to the Mother Together podcast. This is Tiana.
This is Ariel, and we're two moms empowering other mamas not to settle in their motherhood, relationships, careers, and self-worth. Okay, I love the quote, "Women are the largest untapped reservoir of talent in the world." When I read that, I was like, okay, first of all, so true. And second of all, the main group of women that I think of when I hear that quote is mothers.
Mm-hmm, definitely.
Because women, and I mean mothers specifically, do so much. Mm-hmm. And they're usually doing it all at the same time.
Yeah, we do.
It takes a lot of talent. So we are here this week talking with you about how a lot of moms, stay-at-home moms specifically, who have been out of the workforce for a while, feel like they are not capable of doing a whole lot more than mothering.
So that's our mission right now, is to bring awareness to all the moms out there that there is so much more than, either, being a stay-at-home mom, or you're like, okay, I want to have an income, like a side income, and then you go to an MLM, or you try blogging, or you're like, okay, like this isn't working out, so I'm going to have to leave my son at home, and I'm going to have to go to a 9 to 5, and you're miserable. So our whole entire mission at Laptop and Littles is to share that there is more. So our mission is to share that moms can do so much more than they think that they're capable of. When they say, there's a whole other world out there. We want to introduce you to that.
Yeah. And so when moms say, like, I'm not capable of doing anything else because all I've been doing is staying home and taking care of Johnny, so I'm not capable of doing anything professional. I'm just gonna have to like go to a customer service job. Mm-hmm. So what we see a lot of moms doing and showing their capableness is in the virtual assistant role.
Yes.
And that is, a lot of different things, but some of you might not know what that is. So we're going to give you a quick definition before we go over the ways that we see this role benefiting moms. Okay, so a virtual assistant is basically an admin assistant. We describe it as, if you know an administrative assistant, an executive assistant, a teacher's assistant, dental assistant, medical assistant, on and on and on. If you know any of those roles that happen in an office or a company or whatever, a virtual assistant is basically just doing those types of roles, those types of tasks virtually. So at home, from your computer, your kids can be running wild behind you, whatever, but you're just doing those types of roles. So essentially, you're just providing support to business owners from home. It's amazing. You can accomplish so much. You have the skills already to do it. A virtual assistant really is a lifeline for a lot of business owners, but you don't have to have like this amazing, incredible, impressive degree to be able to do it.
No. So let's talk about some traits that a virtual assistant, we really look for our students. One is that they're organized and they're good at managing time. They're motivated. They're a self-starter. They're focused. They're good at setting boundaries. If you listen to our last couple episodes, we talk about setting boundaries. And you're probably like, okay, well, why does that make a good VA? Because as a VA, you're a business owner. So you need to know what you're going to tolerate, what you want from your clients, how many hours you're going to work, what days you're going to work, what tasks you want to offer. So those are some boundaries that you're going to need to set with your clients. And you're going to need to be a good communicator with those boundaries. And do not be afraid to ask questions if you're an assistant, because that is very, very important skill that you need to have. Being detailed oriented and willing to take the initiative and caring. And so you really want to we look at it as like we're taking on these people's company. Like their company is our company. Like we are helping them run that company. So like I really take pride in that. So like that's something that has grown me into wanting to have my own company. So wanting to have Laptop and Littles is working for all of these entrepreneurs, the last 5 years. And I'm like, this is amazing. Like, I love helping them run their companies. Like, I love doing these things. And it's really grown me into the person that I am today. And if I wasn't a virtual assistant and was still a dental assistant, there was no way I would be able to accomplish all the things that I am.
Honestly, that's kind of the key that I always give people, is taking ownership of the work that you do for your clients.
Yes.
That is key. So, yeah.
You taught me that, so.
Yeah, so if you're able to do that, then you'll be able to do a great job in this role. So I fell into the virtual assistant role whenever I was, not even a year-long stay-at-home mom. But I had been a stay-at-home mom for a good amount of time, long enough to know that I needed to do something more. I knew that I wanted to be able to do something more. And I was worried that even though I had this really expensive degree, that I wouldn't be able to use it. I wouldn't be able to do anything to contribute to our income. So yeah, I thought that I would have to wait until my son went to school to be able to pursue a career. So I just thought I'd have to put my career on hold. And then I fell into this virtual assistant world, and I found a job for a company, and it just kind of started from there. And I got a taste for what it was like to work the virtual assistant role. And I was doing like very simple tasks, literally like checking someone's email, doing calendaring, booking flights, making appointments, doctor's appointments, that kind of thing. But the people that I was working with, they treated me like as if I was this genius that was like changing their life. And it was so amazing to have that experience because I was like, oh, all I'm doing are these little things. But to them, that was so impactful for their productivity and their sanity and things like that. So it really is, it's a role that you can use the skills that you already have, and you don't necessarily have to like learn any new ones as other than, learning certain programs and things like that. But just to get started, you have the skills that it takes, and they will already be so appreciative of the things that you can do. Mm-hmm. So I learned that really quickly, and it kind of just went, scaled from there. I was never turning back. But yeah, I did not think that I would be able to do anything as a stay-at-home mom. And, I started just thinking like, this will be great to just take my mind off of like being alone during the day, like when my son's napping, and having that extra money, to literally being the breadwinner for our family and being a 6-figure virtual assistant, and scaling my business to a place that I never really imagined. And I say business, like business is such an intimidating term for moms or just anybody that doesn't have a business. But I see it more as just like, it is this thing that I've built, this reputation that I've built based on the services that I provide. I don't own like a building or something. It's not something crazy intimidating like that.
Yeah, that's awesome. Ariel is an amazing assistant. She is the one who has taught me all my skills that I have and has really grown me to be the assistant I am. So that kind of goes to how I got started in this journey. So I do not have a college degree. I have a high school education. I had a baby at 19 years old and thought my life is over. And I really thought that. I thought there's no way. I don't have a college degree. I can't go to college now and leave him. I could have, but it was just like, me telling myself and, my mindset being like, I can't do that. I can't leave him. And there's no way I can afford college and, raise our baby because, we were living paycheck to paycheck. And so I became a dental assistant, went through some dental assisting school, got a job working, 2 to 3 days a week. And I thought, okay, well, this is life. I'm going to make $15 an hour as a dental assistant, and I'm going to be fine with that, working a few days a week. And then I loved my bosses that I worked for. And so it wasn't that. I loved the dental field. It was fun. I enjoyed it. I always thought I wanted to be in the dental field. But I started to long for more. I started to look for more. And I just felt like God, was laying something on my heart that I was supposed to do something else. And then I went to a church workout and met Ariel. And I was like, what do you do? Me being my nosy self, like all up in her business. Like, what do you do? Like, who are you? What's your name? Like, how old are you? How many kids do you have? And she was like, I'm a virtual assistant. And I remember thinking that day, I went home and I looked on Pinterest at a virtual assistant, and I thought, this is what I'm going to do. And I texted her that night, and I was like, I want to do this. How do I do this? And, she gave me some steps and everything. And then later on, she ended up getting me on with one of the ladies she was working with, and they trained me. And so I thought, okay, I can do this and work, as a dental assistant. And I did both for a little while, well, a month. And I thought, no way, I'm making way more as a virtual assistant than I am, taking my son to daycare, going there for 2 days a week. And so I put in my notice, and I kind of was scared a little bit because I was like, okay, that was a steady paycheck. Like, I know that's coming in, but it may have only been, pocketing like $100, but it was still that steady 100. And I have never went back. I have been a virtual assistant now for 5 years, and I wouldn't change it. I have went from a virtual assistant making $15 an hour to a virtual assistant making $38 an hour. And I take so much pride in my work and so much pride in working with my clients that as a mom, you're doing all these tasks anyway, but you're not getting paid for them. And most of the time, you don't even feel appreciated doing them. You know, you may be booking the hotels and the travel for that vacation, and everybody goes and something happens and it's all mom's fault. But these clients, like Ariel was saying, they're so appreciative. Like, you booked my flights in 10 minutes, like in less than 10 minutes. Like, oh my goodness, like, you are amazing. You know, more of you are like, yeah, like, I'm pretty awesome, aren't I? You know? It's really a confidence booster. So I would say, like, if you're like, you're like a mom who's like, I would just like to work, you know, a couple hours a week, you know, and make some extra money to go shopping or buy groceries or pay off debt or, you know, save for vacation. Or if you're the mom who wants to replace her full-time income, this is for you too, because you can do that. This business can look however you want it to look.
Yeah.
If you want it to work an hour a week, you can. If you want to work 60 hours a week, you can.
Yeah, and I love that part of your story where you said that you, like, still worked as a dental assistant for a little bit and then you quit. We actually have, several girls in our program. We have a coaching program, and there are several girls in our program who had started, and they're like, I'm going to, you know, test the waters and keep my job. We actually had 2 just this month, which it's January 20th. So, I mean, that's just a couple weeks from the new year that have been able to leave their 9 to 5 and do this full time. And that is so satisfying to see that they're learning from, you know, this program and getting these opportunities to be able to do that, because, you know, that's exactly what you were able to do. But some people, that's not their goal, and that's totally fine. Like, for me, starting out, I was very part-time, but then my hunger grew and I wanted to do more, but I was very part-time to begin with, and that was fine. You know, no one was pushing me to do more. My clients were happy. I just took on more clients. So there are so many different ways to make it work for different mom schedules that it's honestly, it's like this secret that I feel like a lot of moms just don't know about. And I honestly think it is because it's scary for some people. It's new in some areas. And, you know, some people just, they see, like the words that you used earlier, a steady paycheck being from an employer that you go into work for every day. And that's just not necessarily true. It's just the system that's been, you know, put together. Just like stay-at-home motherhood being a system that's been put together, and, like, that's all you can do.
Yes.
That's not true.
It's a mindset. Because we always say, like, who has the most, like, who has, like, your best interest in you? Is it going to be your boss, or is it you? It's going to be you. So if you know, like, your boss, if something happens, they will just let you go.
Yeah.
That's it. They won't think about it. They'll just let you go. But you can control that. If you're like, okay, like, I'm ready to take on another client, or I'm going to take on multiple clients. So you have multiple streams of income. So if one goes, you still have 2.
Yeah.
So you have full control over that. And that's what I love, because if I want to work 60 hours a week, I can. If I want to work 2 hours a week, I can. Our goal as coaches, we want to get everyone to be in their happy place. Some of our ladies, their happy places, like, for example, we have one, she used to be an executive assistant out of office. She had kids, and she's been a stay-at-home mom since. Well, she's picked up some hours. She considers herself a booked-out VA, and she only works about 20 hours a week because she homeschools her littles the rest of the time. That's amazing. She's a booked-out VA, and to her, that's 20 hours a week. We have some ladies, one in particular, she works about 50 hours a week. She considers herself booked out, and that's her happy place.
Yeah.
Then we have some ladies who work as a nurse 3 days a week, and they take on about 2 to 5 hours of VA work, and they're considered happy. So
we actually have, like, a lot of nurses.
We
in our
have
program,
a lot of
don't we?
nurses.
Yeah.
But that one in particular, she still works as a nurse, and she takes on VA work. But we do have a lot of nurses who've actually completely replaced their income.
Yeah, because honestly, they see, okay, I've been working harder, not smarter.
Yes.
And now I'm making the same, if not more, than I was making as a nurse, staying home. And especially right now, like, there's a lot of things going on that I know a lot of people have, like, changed professions because, you know, they have kids or they have people in their home that are high risk, whatever. So it's been easier for them. But yeah, so seeing that availability to them happen just because we've, like, been able to spread the awareness has been so fulfilling.
It has. I love it.
Yeah.
Like, I love getting into our classroom and seeing all these ladies share their wins of, like, I got to quit my job today, or I just picked up my second client. It is so rewarding.
Or that post where they've gotten their first client intro call or whatever. It's like, so, you know, even if they don't get that first client, it's so empowering to see them like get excited about it. So yeah, I love that too. All these ladies, you know, they've been through our coaching program. It's actually it's called the All-In Coaching Program that we have for moms that want to start a virtual assistant career. So for the moms out there who do think that they aren't capable of doing more because they're a stay-at-home mom and they've been out of the workforce.
You so are.
You are, and I want you to think about, we mentioned that we have some students in our program that have full-time jobs, specifically several nurses. And when they joined our program, they asked the question, like, can I actually do this? Like, I'm just a nurse. Am I capable of doing these types of tasks? And we were like, well, I don't know. Are you capable of checking someone else's email?
Well, first off, we're like, girl, you are
You
a
save
nurse.
lives,
Like,
so-
you save lives.
Yeah.
Like, can you check someone's email? Can you book their flights and schedule their reservations places? Yes, you can.
Yeah. How many grocery lists do you make, you know, as a stay-at-home mom? How many doctor's appointments do you make? How much coordinating do you do with sports and activities and school and homework and, you know, spouse schedules and things like that? Like, you're doing all of that already. And I promise you it will be so much easier to do it for somebody else because there's not as, you know, the stress is gone. And it's enjoyable.
And you can grow you may be like, okay, this
Oh,
sounds-
plus you're getting paid. So that's a big
plus,
part of it.
Yes, plus you're getting paid. So you think about these things you're already doing.
Yeah.
You're not getting a paycheck for, and you're not feeling appreciated. And you may be like, okay, well, these things sound boring to me. Your virtual assistant business can grow to whatever you want it to look like. We have girls who started as regular, what we call VAs, and they've grown their business into copywriting, online marketing, online business management, executive assistants.
And it really builds your confidence. So we always see the virtual assistant role as like putting your foot in the door to that remote working world, and basically roles that you would not get access to in an office. Because when you're in an office, you know, I'm sure you guys have heard the term of like you have to climb the corporate ladder, and usually you get kicked off that ladder at some point, or it's too hard to climb up it, or if you're a woman especially, like you just have a stopping point. But in this world, that doesn't exist. You can literally, you know, promote yourself within months of starting your business, depending on how quickly you learn and how much you want to do.
Yeah, we had one student in particular. She started at $20 an hour. 3 months later, she's on a $12,000 a month retainer. So if you're thinking, okay, this sounds like something I could do, or I'm really longing for something else in my motherhood or with my career, then book a call with us. We're going to drop a link in the description. You can hop on there. We can plan out your career. We can take the skills that you already have and turn that into a VA business.
Now, what we offer is a coaching program. So we have created this course and program for women who are invested in themselves and wanting to start this career. And we call it a business, but like I said earlier, like I don't want that to intimidate you, because that word business, like you think of like, oh, I have to buy an office building and an LLC and all these like crazy things. No, like you don't have to do anything crazy. Like we see a business as a reputation of these services that you're providing. So less intimidating, hopefully. But yeah, we want to walk you through it, but there is a cost to our program. So if you want to be, you know, like a Kendra, she used to call herself Cookie Cutter Kendra. You can actually check out the blog post that we have that highlights her journey as a VA. You know, now she's doing all the things that she never thought that she would do. She actually entered the program so hesitant. She was like, I'll just do data entry. Can I just do data entry or transcription or something like that?
We kept telling her,
We're like, yeah, girl,
sure,
whatever you want to do.
It's gonna
whatever
suck.
you want to do. Yeah. But now she's doing like VA tasks for online business managers and things like that. Like she's already killing it, and it's amazing to see.
She's blown us away.
Yeah, her confidence has skyrocketed. Or you know, you can be like Chastity, who was a full-time nurse, and now she's cut back a ton of her hours to do VA work, and she's starting to scale and started off around $30 an hour. Like she's already making quite a bit. But all of these ladies, they committed to making this work for them. So all of these ladies committed to making this career work for them, but none of them have skills that you do not have right now to be able to start this on your own. The only thing that they have done that you haven't done is put in the work. And they found the resources, which for them happened to be Tiana and I in our program, to be able to take the steps and do the work and make it happen for them. Thank you for tuning in and listening to the Mother Together podcast.
If you want to hang out with us in real life, join our Facebook group, Mother Together. Go to Facebook, search Mother Together in groups, click join, and make sure to answer those questions.
See you in the group.